Gilmore, CEO of Ireland West Airport. Welcome. Thank you for being with us today here in Dubrovnik. Let's dive into our conversation. 2023 has been the busiest year on record for Ireland West Airport. You're clearly doing something right. What is your recipe for success?
Well, thank you first of all for the interview, Giulia. I'm delighted to be here in Dubrovnik. The recipe for success for us as a regional airport, we're on the periphery of Europe in the west of Ireland. So we cover a region about a quarter of the landmass of the country. Is that we have a large diaspora of people that live in the UK, and we have a very strong core market of travel between Ireland and the UK. We also have an outbound market to Spain, Portugal, and many of the popular sun destinations from Ireland. But also we have a very good business connections into Germany for Cologne, into Italy with Milan Bergamo. Also, we have two very good airlines servicing our airport. Ryanair is our largest airline partner, covers about 80% of our traffic, and Aer Lingus also with a new daily Heathrow service. We've seen a very strong recovery since COVID, and that has been very pleasing and has led to a very successful year last year.
Your airport also keeps investing for the future with the so-called airport transformation program. You even had brand new cabin baggage screening system installed just last year. What is planned for 2024?
Our airport being a regional airport in Ireland, we are an independently run airport. So just to give you some background on our funding and our access to funding, we access funding through an Irish airports regional airports program. So we apply for funding each year to the Irish government, to the Department of Transport. And on average, our capital requirements to maintain the airport infrastructure, we run the air traffic control, the fire, the security, the ground handling, and all of the safety aspects of the airport, as well as the commercial operations within the airport. So we are fully integrated as an airport. So our capital requirements on average range between 6 to 8 million euros per year. Last year was a successful year, and that we did implement the two new level 3 security systems that have proven very successful. This current year, we have just received, actually in the last week, approval of funding now for a further 5 million of spending this current year. The major projects we are undertaking is we have to upgrade our fire service, so we're buying a new fire tender. It's the third fire tender we've bought in the last actually 4 years. We are in the process of upgrading our electrical infrastructure in the airport. So our airport is quite young. We were only built in 1985, but our electrical infrastructure requires upgrading right across from lighting to the air traffic control tower and so forth. So we're spending a further million and a half in that. On the fire side, we're also spending almost 2 million on a new fire training centre to train our firemen. We have to run our own fire service, so that's a very expensive. The other area is there'll be a further 1.5 million spent on navigational services. This is funding that the passenger doesn't see, or investment that they don't see, but it's a necessary requirement. So we're continually investing in ensuring that the infrastructure is future-proofed over the next 10 years, and we are very thankful to the Irish government for the funding we get.
How do you picture Ireland West Airport evolving in the regional aviation landscape in the future, in the next upcoming years?
I think the landscape for all regional airports across Europe is very challenging. And I compliment ACI for the work they do in pulling together all of the regional airports and the various stakeholders at forums like this over the last few days in terms of brainstorming how we can move forward in a good way and a progressive way. The big challenges for our airport is the investment costs required as a regional airport are the same as a large international airport in terms of you have to invest to maintain the high levels of safety, security and operational performance as a larger airport, and that is very expensive. The second area is the management of costs. While our revenues have increased, we've had a record year, our costs have also significantly increased. And particularly in the last 5 years, since COVID, and with the very challenging geopolitical situation, energy, utilities, all the services we buy have increased. So that is very challenging. And the third area is the challenge relating to sustainability. We need to be in a position, having over 800,000 passengers, we need to be in a position to provide SAF to our customers in the coming years. We also need to achieve, hopefully, higher levels of the ACI accreditation program. Last year we achieved level 2 and we have plans to go further. That requires further investment. And finally, being a small regional airport, we are challenged with attracting new airlines. There is a limited pool of large carriers and airlines in Europe. And it's challenging to attract new business to the airport. All of that being said, we have a good marketplace and we have solid routes and a good book of business, but there are significant challenges going forward. For us, if we can grow annually at 2-3% a year per year over the next 5 to 10 years to achieve 1 million and over 1 million passengers, that's probably realistically where we're going to.
So linking to what we were just saying about the airport carbon accreditation program, Ireland West Airport is currently at level 2. How do you prioritize sustainability and environmental responsibility at your airport?
We started the journey a number of years ago on the ACI program, actually before COVID. And the first stage was mapping. So we did the mapping exercise to determine where our sources of carbon were and are at the airport, and have since then started to go through a reduction process. Now the challenge is investment to reduce, because we have changed our lighting. We have moved most of our vehicles airside over to EVs. We have just recently, this year we're acquiring a new fuel bowser, which is costing about close to €1 million, to change our from fossil fuel over. And we're looking at putting in a solar farm in the next 18 months. So these are all the standard and obvious ways an airport prioritise. But again, it comes back to kind of how much investment we can put in there. We have reduced emissions, I think, by about 40% over the last 5 years since we started the programme. We are not a major emitter. We're using clean energy, and our major sources of carbon are very manageable. So we're confident we will hit the targets in advance of the timelines outlined for EU Fit for 55 program.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
What do you see coming first to Ireland West Airport? Electric and hybrid electric aircraft, or more SAF on supply?
I've been very interested to hear the presentations at this conference on electric aircraft and hybrid and hydrogen, and it's very exciting. However, we are a peripheral airport. The distances we travel are relatively long. For us to get to our major market in the UK, it's a 1 hour, 1.5 hour flight, and we need to move volume of people. So until such time as electric aircraft can carry, 50 plus per flight or 100, I think it'll be SAF is the route we're going. And our two major carriers at the moment, Aer Lingus and Ryanair, are advanced in terms of their plans. We're also working with the Irish government as part of a SAF task force to understand how SAF can be sourced and provided at our airport going forward. It'll take a number of years, but I'm confident with the airline partnership and the major fuel suppliers that we have, we'll be able to provide it. The issue will be cost and the level of investment required. We'll find solutions.
And that is indeed my big question. Who is going to finance this shift to sustainable flying? Is it a conversation locally and within Ireland West?
It's a conversation at a government level and at an EU level. I think individually at a regional airport level, we will not be influencing that. That's a much larger debate than smaller regional airports will be able to get into. We're just a part player on the whole chessboard of the whole thing. So I think ultimately the reality of this is the passenger and the customer ends up paying in any major shift. But hopefully the efficiencies achieved and the benefits for the environment and us all in terms of a better quality of living will be will be evidence that it's a path we're taking, but there is a cost to it, and travel will be more challenging going forward, but hopefully with the new technology developments that the cost burden will not be too high.
Of course. Moving to another important topic, you know that inclusivity nowadays is
Yes.
a major topic, it's crucial. Where does Ireland West Airport stand on this topic?
In terms of inclusivity, we have had a number of programs in the last few years that have recognised all people and in terms of inclusion. So, for example, 2 years ago, we were the first airport in Ireland to be awarded the European Age-Friendly Airport. So that meant that we had to do, follow the program of wayfinding and making it easier for people of advanced age to use our airport. Our demographic for the airport covers that age bracket. We're also beside a Catholic shrine, a Marian shrine, so we get quite a lot of pilgrims using our airport to visit there. Last year we were awarded also the Sunflower Award in Ireland for hidden disabilities. So again, we were the first airport in Ireland to be awarded that. And that was again a program of ensuring that we do what we can to make the journey through the airport easier for people that with disabilities that aren't as apparent an upfront perspective when they arrive at the airport. So we're always looking to try and be as inclusive as possible. We run an annual charities program at the airport where we support 6 local charities. So over the last 5 years we've raised over €250,000, on average 40 to 50,000 a year. We're probably one of the only airports in Europe that can do a runway run each year. So we use our runway as a charity event. So we're always looking at opportunities to be inclusive. Finally, I guess on inclusivity, the age one, and in terms of retirement and all that, we're very flexible in terms of people staying. It's not the traditional 65. I don't know how it is across the other European regions, but we're very flexible in terms of ensuring that people wish to work longer with us, they can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, if they want to work with you for longer, it's a good news.
it is good news, and look at obviously people have different plans for retirement, and as they say, and as I look at myself, if you find a job you enjoy, you never work another day.
Joe Gilmore, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being with us today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.